Hey, I wanted to answer the question, are the other pharmacy students pretty good writers? And what this student was asking me basically was, what am I up against? Am I going to be up against people that are amazing writers, or do they have a good chance? And the first thing that I would look to is, the actual ASHP website and see if they give you help in writing. And they give you a ton of curriculum vitae, CV development resources that you can access freely. But the professional Pearl writing a pharmacy residency letter of intent actually is guarded. So you have to be an ASHP member. I assume that if you're going to the meeting, you are. And you can get that I think it's 2-page PDF. And I've read it, and it's got some good tips. But if you want something that's completely unlocked, you can go to the LOI template that I give you at residencyhelp.com/letter. Where I have a template for you, and then you can check and grade yourself with the rubric. And I can help you as well if you want. I can professionally edit. What I'll do is I'll edit your first letter fully, and then I'll help you with up to 2 additional residency sites if you want. But the reason why I'm talking to you about this is because, and I can't show it to you, unfortunately, because it says on the page you can't show it to people. But if you go to pcatweb.info/PCAT-information-for-administrators-and-faculty.php, you can find interpreting PCAT scores. And what that link gives you is examples of students writing on the PCAT. And you may not remember that 30-minute writing prompt, but what it shows is that this is the first class that's dipping. So in 15-16, those that graduated in 2019, that was the last group of the writers that were scoring higher at the 3.4 level. This group of writers is first graduating from the 3-year colleges, and I'm being very careful here. I'm not saying that 3-year students are bad writers. I'm saying that 3-year students are the first to graduate from this group in 16-17. The rest of the 4 years will graduate next year. In that dip where it went from 3.4 to 3.0. And then following will be the group that will be going down to 2.75. And when you look at interpreting PCAT scores, they give you actual prompts of what it looks like. What does a 3 look like? What does a 2 look like? And you're going to see that the 50th percentile is not very impressive. But what you will see also is that as you're going up from 4 to 5 to 6 in these PCATs, it gets to be really, really good writing. And the question is, can you get yourself to between a 5 and a 6? Because as a residency applicant, you have to get to the top 20% to get that interview. So after the GPA cutoff, it really is, do you average, and it's relatively subjective, but do you average 20% as you put together your APPEs, your grades, your recommendations, and your letter of intent? And you can't really have a big gap in any of those. You can't be 50th percentile in something and still make the top 20 unless you are perfect in the other ones. So what I'm saying is that this year is a tremendous opportunity for you to start going up against some writers that are scoring a bit lower in the writing scores, and then next year even lower, or even more people will be scoring lower. So I'm just saying, as we go into this year and certainly into next year, your writing is going to stand out, or good writing is going to stand out much, much better. And I just want to make sure that you're not making this mistake. You are not handing in a paper to be graded as an A or B. You are handing in a paper that needs to be top 20%. So if you have 60 other applicants going for, if you got 60 applicants going for a residency site, then you need to be in the top 12. And you need to be in the top 12 on average between those big 4, which is, your APPEs, your GPA and schooling, your letter, and your recommendations. So I'm just trying to tell you, before you get into showcase and you get bumped around by 8,000 people, that now is the time to start writing that letter. And I've been able to, it really takes me the first revision as I'm editing it to really point out, hey, this is who you are, and this is how you order it, and this is the information you need to put in it. And then after the second revision, we see, okay, now we're really making some progress. And then by maybe a third revision, you could have a perfect letter for a residency site. But the question is, can you look at your own work in such a way to know if it's top 20%? So I'm giving you a place to look so that you can say, okay, is my writing between that 5-letter and that 6-letter under interpreting PCAT scores? And if your writing is not at that level, then I can tell you you're very likely not going to be in the top 20%. I can tell you what a top 20% letter looks like, and I can do it in less than 30 seconds. And I can probably even pick if they're going to be a match for the site or not. I've gotten really good at this, and so have the people that are reading them. So what I'm telling you is, it doesn't work to put in big vocabulary words with a letter that doesn't fit, that doesn't have good paragraphing, that doesn't have topic, sentence, evidence, transition, topic, evidence, transition, that doesn't clearly outline research, clinical, teaching, doesn't give concrete examples through stories and all of these things. But do me a favor, I'll put the link in the show notes. But interpreting PCAT scores, look at the 5 and 6. I can't show it to you because there's a restriction on showing that information. But I'm telling you, if you're not between that 5 and 6, you need to find yourself a way to get there. I can help you get there, but make sure that your letter looks like that. Otherwise, what's going to happen is you could be great with your APPEs, your GPA, and your recommendations, but if your letter is 50th percentile, if you're like middle of the road, then all of a sudden you went from rockstar candidate to, just quite didn't make the cut. So, and I don't want that to happen to you. And obviously, because of my background, I'm the immigrant son, and it's really a personal quest for me to make sure that no one gets left behind because maybe they moved to this country later than other people and they've worked harder than those other people. And so it just really is kind of a very personal chip on my shoulder to make sure that the very best people get in to those interviews. And then after that, I can't help you. Well, I can with the residency book I wrote and residency questions and answers, but I'm just really trying to make clear you cannot put a so-so anything into your residency application. So if you want to get in touch with me, I'm on LinkedIn, Tony Pharm.D. It's LinkedIn/in/Tony Pharm.D. Or you can reach me at aaguerra@dmacc.edu.